Okay, hi guys, this is Kay, and I'm bringing you another Let's Design today. Since you guys seem to like the first one a lot, so I wanted to bring something a little more substantial. And what I haven't done in a long time is, you might have remembered the Atlas deer I did. If not, it was just a series of adoptables, deer adoptables based on Sleeping at Last's Year 1 album. So what I'm doing now is the one for the song Woodwork, so I'd highly recommend going to listen to that if you haven't already, because that's what I'm basing a lot of my design choices on. Mostly just the feel that I get from the song. So I've already kind of selected out some color palettes here. You can see. I think I'm going to do something a little more gray than these palettes, but these were the closest ones that I could find that kind of spoke to me. So it's important kind of for me to keep in mind the colors that I'm going to use, because that helps with my design process. So let's get rid of that and go ahead and sketch out what we want to do. I'm going to go ahead and select kind of a pencil-y brush I like to use for sketching in Photoshop. So we are drawing a deer, and I think for this one I want it to be maybe a white-tailed deer or something kind of like that. So let's just go ahead and sketch out the head. Nothing too detailed right now. Some ears, neck, body, a little space for the nose here. And this, I'm gonna be doing two views and like a chibi view for this, which is pretty much my standard. Now for this song, it's kind of a more like vulnerable song, so I wanted to do like a smaller character, not super like buff or anything. Okay, that looks good. That's kind of the spot for the arms to come out. Might need to make it a little smaller here. There we go. And legs coming down. Some hoofies. Okay, that's good enough sketch for now. Let's sketch out the arms. Something kind of basic, because this is a design, so you don't want the pose to be like super intricate so you can't tell where the markings are. So just something kind of simple is good for designs. With the arms like coming down, you know. Usually you do something, a pose like this, or a pose where they have their like hand raised so you can see like what the back of the hand looks like. But I'm going to do two views, so it doesn't matter. This needs to be a longer hand. Alright, so let's go ahead and flip that just to see what it's kind of looking like. Just good. Make it a little less like wide at the hips. Fix up this leg a little more. Kinda. Okay, that looks pretty good. I saw some pictures recently of deer with really fluffy tails, so I think I want to give this guy a really fluffy tail when we get there. Now I need to make this like a little longer just because it's the front leg, so it should stick out more. And let's fix up the foot a little. Draw the ground. Oop. So just a foot kind of there. Like I said, still nothing too concrete. This is just the sketch. I'm going to do a cleaner sketch when I finish this up. So let's sketch out the face. Oop. Let's get over there. Alright, so the eyes are going to be about right here. Just kind of feeling around for it. Probably a little more like calm expression. Here's the nose. Maybe like looking to the side, kind of like that. but still with like a smile on his face, I think. Like kind of nervous. I think it's cute. Some cheeks. Kind of make him like look almost like a kid, like young. Here's some ears. Nice deer ears. Let me make this one go down a little more, like out to the side. And that might be a little big. Good way to tell is, like I said, flip it. Bring in a little bit. It's really easy to see your mistakes when you flip it, which is why digital drawing is, in my opinion, a bit easier. So let's go for some antlers here. They're gonna start about right there. Just something, let's like this. From some hair. Flesh out the ears. Make sure that you can tell where the cheeks are. That's where the neck is. Get rid of that. Block out the shoulders a little bit more. Elbows be more like right here. And let's take one final look at that. Maybe make it look more like he's hunched over slightly. Just a little bit like that. Okay, I think that's pretty good for our first sketch here. Maybe, hang on, let me fix that arm up. And get rid of this extraneous little bit here. Let's have his leg just, or his foot just flat like that. Okay. A little bit skinnier, I think. Okay. So that looks good. So let's go ahead and lower the opacity of that sketch, and we'll do a clean sketch over top. If you want, you can do line art for adopts. I mean, I just choose not to, because I'll end up changing it later, I know. Make slightly smaller brush, and we'll start really filling in the details here. Big nose. Shade that in. Your eyes can really sell the character. I like to put a lot of expression into my designs. I think that really shows. Or at least I hope it does. Pupils. Just go and color them in. Eyelids. Oh, let's fix that. The eyebrows. Sometimes I draw like actual eyebrows, sometimes I do like the eyebrow dots. It's just whatever I'm feeling. To really make the eyes pop, I kind of have this little trick, just shading in the eyes a little bit. And then you combine that with the eye shine later on, it looks really nice. So that's already looking really great. What I'm gonna actually do is maybe shift the muzzle a little bit this way. I always end up doing this. I never draw right the first time. So let's look at the difference. Yeah, that's probably better. Oop, that's redo that. Come on. Oh well. Well, let's just edit it again. Oop. There we go. Get rid of this little extra thing, so his nose is sticking out. Shade in a little bit of the nose over there. Okay. Did you like a little under eye thing? Make it look like he's kind of tired. So cheeks kind of fluffy, but not anything crazy. Actually gonna change the way this looks so it's kind of going down. Like that. Cool. So let's go ahead and do the antlers first. There we go. Ears coming out. Draw the inner ear fluff a little bit here. Okay, now let's do the hair. Just something kind of like wispy and a little bit like disheveled, I think. Like a little curly almost? Yeah, I like that. Kind of, it's continuing back onto his head and his neck. Alright, that looks good. Let's finish up this other antler real quick. And this is still not like line art or perfect or anything. You know, I'll try and clean it up a little bit, but it's a sketch. That's what it is. Doesn't have to be perfect. So let's flip that real quick to draw the other ear. Well, nah, it's fine. So let's just block that in. Okay, so that is our face done. Yep, looks done to me. So let's look at it without the sketch underneath. Looks great. So we can move on to the body. Kind of draw the neck coming down here. And usually as I'm doing the liner, I'm getting ideas for where certain markings can go. So I'll kind of like continuing the trend of his fur being a little like unkempt or fluffy, make the shoulders kind of like that, and then like the chest floof a little bit too. Like this. And a little bit in like the middle. Just gives it a little more character. So it's not just, you know, something made on a line art base that like 1,000 other characters have been. It's something like really unique. I used to like include personality traits with these guys too, but then I was like, I'll just let the design speak for itself and people will interpret it as they will. And that way they weren't like locked into anything they didn't want to be. So that looks good. Like a little bit of elbow tuft. We've got the hand, just a little bit like a fluff covering the hand. Okay, that looks good, I think. Let's fix it up slightly. Okay. Again, let's look at it without the sketch on. So I can kind of see that I don't really like the way it lines up. So that's a quick fix, just kind of, there we go. Let's move that then. Move it down a little bit more. Well, hang on. It doesn't quite line up with the original sketch here. Maybe that's why it looks weird to me. And then fix that up more. Move this one. Alright, so that's good for now, and then we'll see how it lines up with the body, and if it still looks weird, I'll change it. Alright, so we got the chest continuing down this way. And then to the stomach. To add a little bit of like hip fluff here, that looks good. And then the crotch area, nothing weird about it, just a little bit of fluff. Alright, so let's continue this leg down. A little bit at the knee, just to add a little bit of variation. I think this guy would look good with some, like, maybe that, it might be a little too much, but something like that. Yeah, I mean, if it was a reindeer, maybe, I could just say it's a reindeer, but that's not what I had in mind. So, a little bit following more the original sketch, just going down like that. And, well, yeah, let's just leave the fluff right up there. So, same as with the hands, just a little bit of stuff to break it up here. And then the hoof part. Okay. And then like a little bit of line here just to show that's where the leg actually is and not where the fluff is. Again, let's look at it without the sketch on. And I'm kind of seeing that I want to bring that down more. So start looking at the whole thing. It's looking pretty good. Let me flip it real quick to just make sure I like it. I think what I want to do is change this up a little. So it's kind of more flowing. And then just oh, I dropped my tablet pen. Hang on. Okay, yeah. So let's clean that up. And I want this to go a little more in. Cool. And then there's still a little more to separate what's what. So let's flip that back. Cool. Make sure. Okay. So let's hit the other leg. Same process, just going along. Just less fluff on the side because it's behind it, so it's harder to see, but it's still a little bit. Again, the little piece that shows this is still leg. And then we're going down. And the hooves are going to kind of stick out of the fluff in this one. Kind of like a heart. Like a little bit, maybe covering it up here. So I can already tell that needs to be fixed. So let's look at that. I think I'm going to move the feet over just a little bit. Just migrate that over. Cool. Nope, I don't want to save it. Not yet. So, I want to make this hoof a little bit bigger. And this hip fluff, just a little bit more like the other side. Consistency. So let's take a look at that flipped. And what I'm gonna do is take this and just rotate it slightly like that and make it a little bit bigger. Don't be afraid to edit your drawings like this. You know, people might say that like, oh, that's not good, you shouldn't do that, but who cares really if it makes it look better, right? And now all we really have to tackle is the other side of the arm there, and that's pretty easy because it's mostly covered up, which is kind of on purpose, you know, because I don't have to draw it then. For the design, you really only need to see one arm because it's going to be symmetrical, I'm sure. Elbow fluff is on the other side, so we don't have to draw that. And let's draw a little bit of the hoof coming out. A little more. It's a little longer than that. Alright, so that is looking good. That is our deer. Got a little bit of sectioning here for the body. A little bit more there. Cool. I think what I might do is make this hand a little bigger, because I think it looks fine, but I think that's better. And then, okay, and maybe this a little more up, like that. Just little minute adjustments. Alright, so now we have our first view up. And like I said, we're going to do a back view. And I'm lazy. So what I'm going to do is copy this layer, invert it, drag it a little bit that way, and we are going to adjust it so it looks like the back. So everything that was in front is now behind. So that means we're not going to be able to see the feet anymore. Maybe a little bit on this side. That up. Draw the little back thingies that deer have, whatever they are. Go to this line. Draw like another fluff line over here. So this is like the back of the calves. And it's gonna be like that in the back. We're not going to see this part anymore. It's going to be on the other side. So there's like the butt. Like I said, I wanted to do a really fluffy tail. So let's go ahead and add that. Well, I think that one's like too fat. I want it to be like long and fluffy. So the tail is going to come out, keep dropping my pen, because it's going to come out right about there. So let's kind of with the same like way I've been drawing the fur. Get rid of that. Maybe fix at the tip a little bit, but that's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah. And just a little thing coming out the butt. Cool. So let's go to the chest fluff, because that's the chest. And then draw a little bit of indentation of the spine, just to give us some reference. So this was in the front, so now we're going to cover that up. Cover that up. Oop. Photoshop glitched out a little bit there. So we're going to do that, and now we're going to be able to see this one. So what was overlapping before, like the other thing before, is now the one being overlapped. So if you think about it like that, it's pretty easy. And since the butt fluff is going to be in front, let's not even worry about drawing the thumb. Just, we know it's there, so. Alright, so this is probably the trickiest part, is drawing this other one that was mostly covered up before. So it's coming out like right here. Alright, elbow fluff like the other one. If it doesn't quite match up to what you drew before, don't worry about it. Nobody's gonna care, I promise. So let's draw that a little higher up. It's a little low. Okay. Like I said, let's make this a little fatter or something and fix it on the other side. Sometimes you don't realize something looks weird until you flip it and it's like, oh no, it's weird. Actually, let's move the tail over as well. I think it's a little too far on the right. So let's just scoot it over. Easy peasy. Cool. And now I see that, I see the spine's a little weird, so it's gonna follow the curve of the back more down to the tail. So let's just go ahead and get rid of the face, because we don't need to see that on this view. Fix up the cheek a little bit. And get rid of that. Get rid of that. Rid of that. So we're gonna kind of see the ears meeting the back of the head here. Cool. Now his little, his little hair, I guess, I want it to kind of come down the head a little bit. Like so. Kind of draw the ears. Now let's fix up the antlers. This is going to be behind now. Like that. Alright, that's our back view. Looks like it's about done. Now one little thing to fix here is that the leg that was behind first, in the first view, is now behind in this one, and it looks kind of weird, so we're just gonna stretch it out a little bit so that it is now in front, or it's longer, prospectively. Alright, so that's our two views. Let me go ahead and move the palettes a little bit just so we have more room. Oh. That is that. Okay. Yeah. Let's squish that down a bit. Move it over there. Now for the chibi, I don't have anything specific in mind, just something relatively cute. So let's do another sketch. Maybe. If I can deselect that. There we go. Like maybe sitting with a flower. I think that'd be cute. And this is a chibi, so not too much detail. Maybe the ears down like this. So like a flower that he's holding. He's sitting. Maybe with his like feet crisscrossed. His arm down like that. And that is very lopsided, I can tell, without flipping it. So we're just gonna go ahead and kind of do this. Easy fix. With his tail sticking out. So now let's flip it and see what it looks like. That looks pretty good, actually. I think we can work with that. Okay, so I could flesh out this sketch a little more, but I think I'm just gonna roll with it. Let's turn the opacity down, make a new layer, and we're gonna draw on top of it. So since this is a chibi, I'll be a little liberal with my like expressions and stuff. Let's fill that in. His mouth. Color in the eyes. Do that same eye trick we did before. Really makes him pop, I promise. Okay. Let's fill out those cheeks. Exaggerate the details a little bit, because like I said, it's a chibi. So the cheeks are a little fluffier than I drew normally. Give him like a blush. His ears coming down. That's really cute. Drew his little antlers in. Already forgot how I drew them up there. Okay. Really exaggerate his hair here, I think. Okay. His chest fluff here. His little baby fingers. Toes. I'm not worrying about this being too incorrect or anything. Sorry about the little skip here. OBS is stupid. But what I'm doing right now is coloring in my sketch. That is the one side, or one downside to doing sketchy layers like this, is that, yeah, it's easier when you're doing it, but it does make it harder to color in. So you could do the trick where, you know, you select the outside of the line art and you reverse it and you fill that. But I found that Photoshop really doesn't like that when it comes to my sketches. Maybe yours are cleaner than mine are, I don't know. But I found that I really spent more time cleaning up Photoshop's pixelated mess than it took to just hand draw it or hand fill it in anyway. So that's what I'm doing right now. If you do your back view line art really well, you can just copy the color you did for the front view, reverse it, and then put it on the back. But I really tend to change mine a lot, so I don't really bother with it. For this one I probably could have, but I'm not. Oh well. Okay, so that's basically done. So let's go ahead and lock that color transparency. And let's go ahead and start blocking out some designs. I pretty much try to be very open about it when I'm going through, just so I can change things. But I definitely want, like, the cream here in some way. Not sure exactly how I want to use the green, if I want to, like, just do eyes, or maybe the antlers as well. Actually, antlers are kind of cool. And that's always a question. You know, do I do that? I don't know yet. How about, what if I do like a ringed muzzle, like deer have? And go ahead with the darkest color for the nose, maybe? Maybe. Let's go ahead, maybe block in the color on the ears, like a dark color. And then the darkest color at the tips. That's pretty, like, traditional in my designs, especially for the deer. I think it looks good. And maybe the dark color kind of comes back like this. Perhaps. Fill that color in on the back view as well. Go ahead and make the inner part of the ear white, or the cream color. I want to do something with under his eyes. I was thinking maybe actually bring the green in and do like some kind of like dyed marking. Maybe actually a lighter green. Like he dyed it or something. I may or may not keep this, but I think it's cool. Let's go ahead and fill in the white part of the eyes so it looks less creepy. I'm actually using a soft yellow because it's soft, like I said. Gives him kind of a cool look. So for this, I actually might want to. It's like the whole eye. Something like this. Some eyeshadow. So I'll let the cheek markings sit there, and I'll see how I feel about it. But just like the chest area here, and let's see what it looks like if I bring it down to his butt. Oop, that's not the right color. Like maybe just like a spine marking here. It kind of continues down to the tail, and then this one is here as well. Now I'd like to allude to trees or like wood specifically somehow in this design. I'm just not sure of like a good way to do it. Because like I said, the song is called Woodwork. Let's see, what else can I do with this? Let's make this like thinner, so it's really just along his spine and not his cheeks. Those are the medium brown color. I think this can be cream, but not connected. So I think that looks better against the green of the feet, if I do decide to keep that. So, to allude to the woodwork part, I'm thinking maybe some kind of like something like this. Maybe not here, but some kind of marking like that. Maybe on his knee. I don't know. I definitely know there needs to be some kind of marking on his arm because it looks really bare right now. What I could do is actually some kind of like rings. Because like trees have rings. And then maybe the last ring brings in this color. That could be cool, kind of like that. And then bring them back in here, but as kind of like stripes, like this. Or they could, I mean, they could go through. And it'd be like this. So I think that's too much, to be honest. I even think the arm ones are a bit too much. I think 2 would be good. So like get rid of this, get rid of that one. I think it's more appropriate. What about that? I think I like that actually. I think I like it. So let's go ahead, make it up near here by the knee. Bring that through, bring that through. That's one of the key things I try to do in my designs, is have the markings flow through. Like there's not just one random marking. Like so if I'm gonna have stripes up here, I'll have stripes down there. Like that. So I think I'm gonna rid of these and maybe replace them with something like this. I don't know. I definitely want to put something under there. I just don't know what yet. Let's go ahead and fill in the markings from the back now, so we just get a better view of the overall picture. That tends to help. It is kind of hard to decide when these are done, but generally I just, when each like spot along the design looks like it's appropriately filled, that's usually when I'll say quits. Now, I can put some spots in here. And I was just saying that, like, you know, follow through designs, and I haven't used any spots yet, but I think they could be appropriate if I follow through with them up here as well. And do that. So like the other spots would come in the back this way. Maybe like one white one or something. That'd be kind of cool. Or like 2. I don't like this spot. I draw it again. So that looks cool. That looks cool. Okay. Get the green in here. The cream looks better against the green. So that is my reasoning for doing that. Fill that in more. Let's get the green back on these hands. I think we're pretty close to being done. Might bring these spots back up to here. We're close. We're really close, if not done. Oh, you know what we haven't done? We haven't filled these in yet. think I will follow through with these to like the back, like that. Cool. So let's go ahead and start cleaning this up, and I may or may not make some changes after that. But that really tends to bring it together, is fixing it up like this, get that colored in. So I really like to be messy during the actual designing process, just because I'm gonna make changes. I don't want to put anything in stone, and if I spend a lot of time on something, then I'm gonna be reluctant to change it, even though like it might need to be changed. So let's go ahead and do that. And should we do the inner of the ear green? I think we should. Let's get this colored cream first, though. Get that one fixed up. Colored in. Oh yeah, I still wanted to do something. Oopsies. Under here. I think maybe just this color will be good. Not the really dark one, but just the medium one. And then we bring this color over here to match it. Like this. Good. And let's fix that up a little bit. You can also use this opportunity to fix up your line art if you want to. I'm not gonna bother. I think it looks fine. Although I say that, I'm still probably gonna fix it up as I go along, because that's just, I see it and I'm like, oh, better fix that. Like my coloring job here, I want to fill in the nose more in this area. So let's fix up the nose. It looks like it's good for the head area. So before I forget, let's go above my line art layer, make a new layer, and add in those eye shines I was talking about earlier. That just really makes it pop. And then a little bit along the nose as well. Oh, that's kind of big. I don't want it that big. Just something like that. And it's good for a chibi. Way over here. And get those as well. Ah, it's being so slow. No, come back over here. Okay. See, that's looking nice. Alright, so let's keep fixing up the body here. Someone is texting me. What do you want? No. Okay. It's my group member letting me know we got 100 on our video project, which you probably saw because I uploaded it. It's the one where I'm dressed like a tree. So I went through all that effort for something, I guess. No, it was fun though. So let's move. Oop, come on. Sometimes it doesn't like to grab color. And the hotkey for the color picker, by the way, is holding down Alt when you have the brush selected in Photoshop. That's definitely really helpful when I'm just picking colors here and cleaning them. Although it does have issues. Sometimes it just grabs something else that you don't want. So you can see I went pretty simple on this design. I've probably done more complicated ones, but I definitely like simple designs. I think they're good. Sometimes hard to come across. Okay, see I have a discrepancy here actually. I want them to be going this way. So let's fix that. Sometimes that can happen. I have no idea how I'm gonna upload this because this is probably gonna end up being an hour-ish long. I know most people don't want to sit through that. So, I guess I'll figure that out. Okay, we're getting close to finishing this view. Let's just finish up the feet here. Get that sorted out. Alright, that's looking pretty awesome. It's got a nice face. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, a good way to bring in the circle would be to give him freckles. That'd be cute, I think. Hang on just 1 second, and I will get to that. That's the problem with recording all this stuff. I have other stuff to do. Okay. Yeah, so I may or may not get rid of the under eye one. Well, I might get rid of it. And then I can bring in that brown color for the freckles. Don't want to like overload it. That's too big. That's cute. That's a good way to bring it in to the head area. I like that. Alright, so that's looking clean. So let's clean up our back view. Oh no! I'm going to again fix my coloring job here. I usually will only fix it when it interferes with how a marking looks or something, because then, you know, it's difficult to see. Okay, let's bring that up a bit, make that more round. Nope, that's not the right color. So I'm thinking the way I'm gonna upload this is one version that is just a speed up, like live stream, or not live stream, speed paint version. And then a version that is just the raw footage and audio. So if you're listening to the raw footage and audio right now, like, thank you. You've been listening for like 45 minutes now. That's some dedication. Thank you for that. Then again, I might not do that, and you might never hear this. Okay, what do we want to do here? Let's make this line follow the spine curve that we drew a little more closely. I want to do it like kind of thin. Okay. No, Photoshop. Alright, so this is gonna continue along this way a little bit. Don't want it to have like too sharp. Okay. Looks good to me. Let's make this one a little wider to match the one on the other side. It's butt marking. Maybe like one more little thing over there. Okay. Let's draw that like this. That makes more sense to me. Our cursor a little bigger, that'll help for sure. Okay. Clean these up just a bit. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, definitely need to fix up my coloring job on this one. It is looking a little not good. Okay, that looks to be... Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. What am I doing? Okay, that looks to be about done. I would say. Yep, that looks good. So let's go ahead and color in our chibi here. Zoom out a little bit so we can see everything. And I'm just going to block in the colors here. So we've got the muzzle marking, chest, kind of goes out. We've got this color here, it's also here, it is here, although it goes down, so let's draw it that way. Down. And I unlocked it for some reason. Let's try that again. Okay, and the tail is going to come through like this. Correct. And I did not draw in the space for the flesh in the ears here, but I cannot be bothered, so we're just going to draw it in. Like this. It works. Don't judge. So here's the nose. And we'll get the medium brown. Draw the freckles in. If I was smarter, I would have probably switched the side the spots are, because I don't really have a good view that shows off the spots on the arms, but hopefully people, whoever buys it, will figure it out themselves. That's a little too small of a gap. Let's fix that. Color the eyes. Look how pretty this guy is. He's cute. color in his tips. Speaking of tips, this is something I kind of do a lot, but I don't think it actually fits in this guy. Doing like a triangle at the tail. I'll keep it out of this design. Can't do it every time. Alright. Let's just reuse this green color for the flower stem. And get like a yellow color for the middle. Maybe like a baby blue white for the flower petal part. It's cute, it's cute, it's so cute. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and get a different green because it touches the hoof. So that just looks a little weird. And let's get his spots in. And belly markings. I should have colored this first. Oh well. Okay. I can like sneak in his white spot there. Let's fix that. That's kind of clean. Okay, that should be it. I think I got all the markings over there. Sometimes I draw my own characters incorrectly all the time, so I'm sure I missed something. But that looks good to me. So let's go ahead and find the layer the palette is drawn on. So we're gonna make another layer and just type out some information about the adopt, you know. And I'm gonna go back to my pencil looking brush for this, just because I like the way it looks. So this is Woodwork. Let's make that bigger. Draw on the name. You know, I said I wanted this brush, but I don't. I want a different pencil one. Alright, so I put a quote from each song on them, so we're going rogue to find the best lyric that I want to put on. This is thrilling stuff, people. Okay. Probably something from the chorus. How about we only know this light deep in the woodwork? That sounds good to me. If I can... We only know this light deep in the woodwork. Cool. That's just a little something I like to add because it's part of the Atlas Deer collection, or whatever you want to call them. So let's go ahead and jot the palette down as well for whoever gets it, so they don't have to guess or anything. And I'm going to go back to my solid hard brush to make color selection easier. So that's the darkest color, here's the second darkest color, here's the third darkest color, and then the lightest color, and then the green accent. And I'll go ahead and also grab the eye color, just because people might want that too. Put that there, make that go away. Let's just bring this down so it's more even. Okay. And I'm gonna just jot down a few design notes, like the spots, how there's like what am I doing? Actually, I'm going to move this here so that I can point to the thigh ones and the shoulder ones at the same time. Haha. I don't always write design notes on these guys, but I don't know, I feel like it today. I think that's all I really want to write, though. I think that's all that is questionable about it. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. I think he's ready to go. So, if you guys like this, he's gonna be up for auction if you just really have to have him. I'll put a link in the description. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoyed the process. If you learned something, that's great. If you didn't, at least I hope it was entertaining in some way. Let me know what you think in the comments. Enjoy. Like, have a good day, guys.